In fact, when you were speaking, one of the things that I was thinking of is John Gray, in his book Seven Types of Atheism, gives the example of the atheist churches, which you just mentioned, that in the late part of the 19th century or the early part of the 20th century, when these communities were being set up, because they wanted the same Christian feeling of community and family, they created their churches. And one of the things that they did is that to try and bring around these cohesive values, they had these uniforms that you'd need to wear to go to church, the atheist church. And the only way to wear the uniform is that somebody else would have to actually help you put it on. You'd have buttons on the back. So it forced people to meet up even before they went to the church. So you can see that down to the T, they want all the benefits of religion. And I think you gave a very comprehensive understanding of their motivation. What is it that they are motivated by? And I think that's what's important here. I mean, one way I can think of, I'm just thinking of an example, that you may come across a Muslim who, for some reason, has been, I just noticed my cameras all over the place, a Muslim who was put into a lot of doubts, like you said, doubts and desires, but this Muslim is going through a lot of doubts, but they want to remain upon Islam. And sometimes by the time they get evidence to remain upon Islam, there may be a lot of time that's passed between the time that they've sorted out their doubts and the doubts started. But what keeps them in Islam at that period in which they have a lot of doubts is that the metaphysical backdrop of Islam, which protects you from nihilism, protects you from all sorts of other existential crises, they use that to hold on to Islam until they get sufficient evidence, because they can't think, if I wasn't a Muslim, how would I live? What would be the meaning of life? How would I make sense of my mum that passed away last year? And, all these types of things. And the same thing, I believe, the atheists are going through, Shoaib, that they don't, even though I believe, and I'm sure anybody who looks at it objectively, they believe that it's so hard to marry naturalism and spirituality. They just don't seem to go together. However, it's the scariest idea possible, that everything is absolutely meaningless, which is they want to run away from that. And that's why they would shoehorn spirituality within a naturalistic framework.